Hi, welcome back to CBSE Board Economics. I'm Saddam Hussain. Today we'll be discussing Indian Economic Development, Chapter 1. We have already seen during the British rule the position of agriculture, the position of industries and the foreign trade. On the eve of independence, what was the state of the economy? We'll be discussing it today. On the eve of this, so the question goes, state of Indian economy on the eve of independence. What exactly is the state of Indian economy on the eve of independence? When the Britishers left the Indian economy, how bad in shape was the Indian economy? We'll be discussing these points. So when the Britishers left the Indian economy, it was in a very bad shape because we discussed already, they never bothered to take care of agriculture. They treated its Indian economy as a colony. They used to export primary raw materials from India to feed the industries in India. So they treated it as a feeder economy. The main purpose of the British rule in India was to develop their industries and to treat India as a colony, to sell their products. And they never bothered to introduce any latest technology in agriculture, to put more investment in agriculture. As far as the industries are concerned, they were taking the raw materials from India and produce the goods in England and again export to India. So it was treated as a colony, no industrial development took place, and they never introduced any capital goods in India. So let's see, we'll sum it up on the eve of independence, the state of the Indian economy. We'll put this broadly under 5-6 categories. The first one was colonial economy. What exactly is colonial economy? So I told you the Britishers, they treated India as their colony. Colonialism, that is, they treated it as a colony. They subjugated it for their selfish motive of developing their industries, their economy. So basically it was treated as a colonial economy to meet their expenses on war or to meet the expenses of the offices in India and to make payments for invisible items or services. So they treated it as a colony, basically to export raw materials from India and import the finished goods from England. And the second point, semi-feudal economy. It was not, before that it was completely feudal economy. That means it was basically an agriculture economy. They made it a semi-feudal economy. So though 2/3 of the population depended on agriculture, they gradually introduced some industries, semi-feudal economy. Stagnant economy, there was no development, it became stagnant. The GDP growth was, I told you, is less than 2% and the per capita GDP was 0.5% growth rate. So it was a stagnant economy. I told you why it was stagnant economy, because agriculture was not developed, industries were not developed, primarily it was treated as a feeder economy. And backward economy, again the same points come, no industrial development took place, no new technology in agriculture, no fertilizers, nothing, absolutely. So it was a backward economy. And depleted economy, so depleted means depreciation. Whenever there is some capital goods deplete or depreciate, we should replace them. And India helped during the wars, and there was overproduction during the wars, and all the industries, whatever they used it, there was a lot of depreciation and the Britishers never bothered to replace them. So that's why it was a depleted economy. And the last one, amputated economy. What exactly is amputated? We already know familiar that the Britishers used divide and rule policy. Before they left India, they divided it into two parts, Pakistan and India. It was amputated. Many of the jute and some fertile cotton producing areas have gone to Pakistan. So that Indian economy became depleted economy. So at the end of it all, the Indian economy was in a very bad shape when the Britishers left India. So we read once again, look at this one. Discuss the state of Indian economy on the eve of independence. When the Britishers left India. During the British rule, the Britishers transformed the Indian economy into a colonial, backward, semi-feudal, stagnant, backward, depleted and amputated economy. We put all these points together in one sentence. During the British rule, the Britishers transformed the Indian economy into a colonial, backward, semi-feudal, stagnant, backward, depleted and amputated economy. The first point which I told you was colonial economy. In India, colonial exploitation is a long history spread over nearly 200 years, which we discussed that Indians were exploited for almost 200 years during the British rule. Under this British rule resulted in huge drain of wealth from India. In order to facilitate growing British industry with the supply of raw materials from India. So there was a lot of drain of Indian wealth to support their industries in terms of raw materials. B, they also encouraged commercialization of Indian agriculture to transform Indian economy into a British colony. So commercialization of agriculture, Britishers insisted on cash crops to feed their industries. So it was purely a colonial economy. So Indian economy was purely a colonial economy. It was purely meeting the demands of the British industries. The second point you have, semi-feudal economy. By the close of the British period, there were two aspects of the Indian economy under this introduction of feudal system. The landlord settlement system gave birth to feudal relations, landlord-tenant relations. The landlords used to charge very high rate of lagan or the taxes and were very cruel to the cultivators. B, introduction of capitalist system. The establishment of modern industries led to creation of two classes, capitalists and laborers. So India inherited the features of both feudal and capitalist system in the Indian economy. So under semi-feudal, I told you, so when the Britishers left, they introduced landlords and the tenants. So the main aim of the landlord is to exploit the tenant farmers and try to get as much tax as possible, and gradually the capitalist system they introduced. So it led to a divide between capitalist and labor class. So India inherited the features of both feudal and capitalist system in Indian economy. The third point, stagnant economy. A stagnant economy is one which is growing at a very low rate. On the eve of independence, Indian economy was a stagnant economy as country's growth of aggregate real output during the first half of 20th century was less than 2% and growth in per capita output was 0.5%. I told you stagnant economy. India's GDP growth was only less than 2% and India's per capita income growth was 0.5%, very low, stagnant economy. Backward economy. At the end of the British rule, Indian economy was backward and underdeveloped. The main reasons for the backwardness of Indian economy were A, why it was a backward, low productivity, low level of productivity in agriculture. 2, low per capita income. 3. Traditional methods of agriculture. There were no modern systems were introduced. High birth and death rates and mass illiteracy. Because of that, it was a very backward economy. Illiteracy was high, birth rate was high, death rate was high, no improvement in agriculture, the productivity was low, no latest technology, low level of productivity, low per capita income, and traditional methods of agriculture. And the 5th point, depleted economy or depreciated economy. At the time of independence, Indian economy was a depleted economy. Depleted economy refers to an economy whose depleted economy refers to an economy where no arrangements have been made to replace the physical assets depreciated due to excessive use. Why they did not replace? A. During the Second World War, Indian industries had to work beyond their capacities to meet the increased demand of plant, machinery, equipment, etc. for the war. However, British rulers did not make any arrangements to replace the depreciated physical assets. As a result, British rulers had left a seriously depleted economy. So, the Indian economy was very much depreciated or depleted. The Britishers never bothered to replace the worn out machines. Amputated economy, I told you, it was divided into two: Indian economy, India and Pakistan. The British policy of divide and rule always promoted discrimination between various groups on the basis of religion, caste, language and culture. As a result, on the eve of independence, country was geographically divided into two parts, India and Pakistan. Partition of the country virtually disrupted the economy due to 1. Problem of rehabilitation of large number of refugees from Pakistan, and 2. Shortage of raw materials for jute and woolen mills, as most of the cotton and jute growing areas went to Pakistan. So this is the state of the Indian economy on the eve of independence. What was the state? The Indian economy was in a very bad shape. To put it in one line, colonial economy. Indian economy was purely for developing the interest of British rulers, their industries. Colonial, it was acting as a colony. Semi-feudal economy, so when the Britishers left, so it had both agriculture as well as capitalist features. Stagnant economy, they never bothered to introduce new technology. And backward economy, everything was backward, agriculture was backward, no industrial development. Depleted economy because of the wars, whatever the machines and all depreciated, the Britishers never bothered to replace them. Amputated economy, the Britishers believed in divide and rule policy. They divided the country before leaving into India and Pakistan. As a result, majority of the jute producing areas and cotton producing areas have gone to the other side. So that was the state of Indian economy during the on the eve of independence. That's all we have time for today. Till we meet next time, it's goodbye from Saddam Hussein. Work hard for the board exams. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Bye-bye.